We're going over Gitea, Linux utility, probably hit some Windows utility stuff today. Probably wanted to touch a little bit on GitHub screwing up so much. I don't know what it is, but it's become so unreliable. I don't even think they've at a 90% uptime on GitHub, which is crazy because I've been getting emails from folks like Windows utility, if you're unfamiliar, runs through GitHub. That's who hosts it essentially. So when they go down, which they mostly have partial outages, not full-blown outages, because a full-blown outage means you can't run WinUtil. So anyways, I'm going to have to do some kind of middleman type deal, and I set up my own Gitea instance. I'm going to do a video on it, and I've been kind of messing around, and Gitea is amazing. So I've been just like, I guess every company is just so incompetent now that you pretty much just have to self-host everything. I'm just waiting for my email to just stop working, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm going back to hosting email again. Anyways, I digress. It's gonna be a ranty stream. I hope you buckle up. Be prepared. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. Self-host all the things. That's what's gonna happen. But seriously though, like it is to a spot where I'm just like, every company is providing just absolute crap and charging hand over fist on a monthly fee, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess the era of self-hosting is back, and it is very well. Like, I don't think I feel comfortable paying a monthly fee for any service at this point, except email. Email's still one of those things. God, I just don't want to self-host it, but I feel like I'm going to have to. I don't want to, but I think I'm going to have to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this year takes us. I'm feeling good about it, though. You need a 5-minute countdown? Yeah, so I used to do that, Gabby, with the 5-minute countdown. But I stopped because essentially I needed to get more stuff done. And then I felt like, hey, if I'm ready to live stream, let's just live stream this thing and then go. And I didn't want to edit the live streams anymore. So I'd much rather just have a free-flowing, just right out of the gate, here's what my thoughts are, before anybody in chat can mess with me. Just something like that. Hey, before anybody could jump on and just really screw me up, I'm thinking that's it. Full of vulnerabilities in Linux. Anything to be concerned about? No. Yeah, content creators these days, I don't know, man. Call me old-fashioned, but I feel my job as an influencer is to actually teach you something. So what YouTube and a lot of content creation has turned out to be is, hey, let's just hype up, get everybody whipped up in a frenzy over anything and everything, instead of actually teaching people things. Like, all we're doing is just making people dumber when you're doing that. So, like, the Copyfail exploit for Linux, every channel's covering it. No, I'm not going to cover it in a video. It's a local privilege escalation, and I've seen many creators cover it and make it seem like the, hell on earth. And it's just like, oh my gosh, you better patch this, otherwise it's gonna just be the end of Linux. And I'm just like, okay guys, chill the F out. It's a Python vulnerability. Uninstall Python if you're really that worried about it. But also, it requires someone to log in. And then I saw some other content creator had like the worst take. He's like, oh, well, see, now all it takes is just them running an RCE, a remote code execution, and then once they're in, then they can just run this script, and then all of a sudden they're in your system, and all Linux is going to be compromised. I'm like, bro, that's not at all in the realm of possibility for anybody that knows anything. Like, yeah, sure, an RCE does exist probably somewhere in Linux, but that is very few and far between. there's a much more local privilege escalation bugs in Linux than any RCEs. Now, Windows, on the other hand, they have RCEs all over the place, so remote code execution in Windows is actually much easier than Linux. I digress, though. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just wake up and I look at my news feed and I'm just like, everybody's a freaking idiot. God, why does the world have to suck so much and just be so stupid? Old man yells at cloud. That's what I feel like. I'm just like, just teach something. I don't care what it is. Just anything is better than the crap in my news feed. Maybe I just need a new news feed. I think it's time I just erase my news feed. Yeah. Remote code execution, terrible, right? But people were making it out to be like Copyfail was just every system's going to be vulnerable. I'm like, no, it still requires a local login and a user. Now, it's not to say maybe some people do user logins. Not all my systems, it's just me. If you log into my system, I just assume you're going to probably have pseudo privileges. So that was my thing. It's a bad exploit. I'm not trying to downplay the bug or the exploit itself. It is bad for local privilege escalation. I'm just saying it's not the end of the world, guys. Just don't have random people being logging in on your Linux system. And frankly, you shouldn't even have anybody attempting to log into your system if your network's locked down. So it's like, but YouTuber's gonna YouTube, can't be mad. Hate the game, not the player. I get it. Yeah, I think some of the, this is probably some of the worst things. Like some things, like certain apps, I think do have local logins that some people would set up. I don't ever set it up like that. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. But I'm pretty sure someone out there probably does. But that's very few and far between. Anybody that has any tenure or experience isn't going to set up a Linux box with random people logging into it. That's just silly. Anyways, that's all I had to say about that. Whew. Gitea versus Forgejo. What is? I think I looked at Forge. Was Forge? Was it a fork of Gitea? Okay, it was forked off of Gitea. But, what was... Okay, interoperability between different installations. Why it can be mirrored from any other Git Forge. Oh, ActivityPub. So it's like, ActivityPub protocol is kind of interesting. It's what Blue Sky's built off of. It's an interesting protocol. Huh. And you could federate between repositories. I guess you could do something like that and then tie multiple Gits together and then create like your own federation. I could see that being cool, I guess. I'm still happy with my Gitea fork, which is fine. Yeah. My problem with like Gitea right now is set up in multiple different ways. I still have to do a video later, so I haven't converted all my repos, but all my private repos I'm essentially deleting from GitHub. Two things with that. I don't really have anything like really pertinent. Honestly, my private repos could be public. I don't really care, but I know they've had an exploit, and I can't remember. Someone in chat probably could correct me on this. I think it was GitHub had an exploit or something happened with GitHub where all the private repos were exposed. But anyways. All right, Fluffy, what do we have? Yeah, that's the problem. Is some idiots do host servers that like have really, really old software that can be hacked. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true. All right, let's see what else we have. Don't read chat. Yep. Yep. Chris, read chat.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. I feel like most of Twitch is just people yelling at me to read chat, but with actually nothing there, right? Maybe. Will you ever continue MacuTil, though? That is a good question, NodeGo. And I have some exciting news on that front. I need to click this. I need to expand that. I have dabbled in the Apple waters last night at about 11:30 p.m., laying in bed. And I have resurrected a project long since forgotten to the eons, to the desolate, dry desert of time. And it was called Aerospace. Dash config. Yeah, so anyways, yeah. I was working on this last night. I wanted a no-frills Aerospace / sketchy bar setup for Mac. And I was working on this last night where I was on a MacBook, I think it was an M4 Air. And I was setting all this up. And I was really happy. Aerospace has really come quite a ways. It's last time I was using it, I had a lot of issues. And this time around, last night, I got to a spot and I was like, well, damn, this is pretty good. So I wanted to kind of tackle that. I probably will do an Aerospace config. Do I even have that here? I swear this just never, ever gets... All right. Yeah. Every time I'm like, okay, I'm catching up on my ideas and my videos, I ended up making more of them. I just can't help myself. Aerospace, Mac OS. Yeah, let's uncheck that. I'm already done with my Neovim. That comes out tomorrow. So anyways, yeah, that Aerospace one, I'm digging it though. I was just jamming around last night and I was like, I think the M4 is gonna replace my bed laptop. I'm really digging it. Anyways, I'm liking it. But as far as the MacuTil, I think I'm gonna. The timing has to hit me. The motivation has to be there, and then it shall be revitalized, much like the Aerospace config. I think if I had to guess when that's gonna happen, I would say when the M5 Mac Mini comes out. I think I'm gonna be picking one of those up, because I think those will be pretty sweet. I've always liked the Mac Minis, especially with Apple's new direction. I think it's really good. So that's me, being optimistic about Apple. What else we got? Anything else, chat? We need this emote. What's the emote? Can I add it? Let's sign in. Yes, I agree. Okay. Let's add it to the emote set. There you go, brother. That is totally what we need. 1000%. Oh my god, that's almost all my streams. They're just a giant hot mess. My wife was like, hey, what are you going to talk about today on the stream? And I was like, wouldn't you like to know? And she's like, you don't know what you want to talk about, do you? And I'm like, no. I don't know. I'm just gonna get on. I'm just gonna hit start streaming, and then I'm gonna look at my project list, and then probably not do any of that, and then start off on a completely different direction about some repository. My live streams are just a hot mess, but that's okay. We like looking at everything. Yeah, I was just like, let's just start the stream. I remember, gosh, I was looking at my stats the other day because that's what everyone does. How important am I? Let me look at my Twitch tracker. I was looking at this the other day, and I started in April of 2019, not understanding anything about streaming. And I kind of had like some sparse things. Like during this period, I was making like 3 or 4 videos a week, and it's almost impossible to live stream and do YouTube videos. So, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit more emphasis on live streams through this. And you still have seasons where I'm just like, I'm done live streaming for like 2 months. Bud, Fluffy, you all know. And all the people, all the OGs in chat know. Sometimes I just disappear for a month or two. And that just means I need some time off. So I'll just take some time off and then come back. But I learned over this past 7 years of doing this, 7 years streaming, 8 years on YouTube, you just kind of got to go with the seasons. Sometimes everything's great and it feels good, but once you start to kind of like burn out or just not feeling it, it's best just kind of like, hey, I'm just going to do one stream this week. I'm going to cut back and then maybe focus on some other projects and then come back the next week. And I think I've found a really good happy medium with the 2 streams a week. I really do enjoy it, and I feel like we're finally coming to a nice equilibrium, which is nice. To where I can do 2 YouTube videos, 2 live streams, and I feel like life's just good. That's just the perfect amount of work. I don't feel overworked at all. I feel like, hey, I get to tackle and talk to everybody or yap at everybody while they sit there yelling at me to read chat. That's just, I think it's perfect. It's the perfect balance I've found. It's only taken me 7 years to get here.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking of streaming. You should.
Vibes.
I think you have to stream and YouTube at the same time. Mesh them together. Make the ultimate. It's the best. Fat Bastard, thank you for the gifted sub. Fat Bastard also has been here forever. He has been the #1 contributor for quite some time now. Contributor. I can't even do the English language, and here I am. Did you see the forum status channel? No. Calum, how's the forums looking? We soft rolled out the forums. I haven't done like a video or anything on the forums, but I was like slowly getting it rolled out. So the idea behind the forums and why I made this was, what did I need to look on here, by the way, Calum, before I get lost yapping for 10 minutes? God, I still need to do the SRIOV. Seth, not yet. Damn, I need to do that. I think we're getting close. We're getting close to doing that. Was it Discord? Okay, Discord. Not there. I get it. Why can't this open in Discord? Wait, let me try it again. Can I just open the app? I feel like it should just open. I don't know how any of this works. 20 minutes is gone. Oh, well. Anywho. That does not work. Anyways, forum status channel. That sounds cool, though. It might be like a channel in Discord, huh? Forum status. There we go. Oh, nice. We got an Uptime robot now. Yeah. I think Fallen GME wanted to revamp some of it, too. I made him admin. So hopefully he doesn't delete everybody from the server and erase it. But he said he was going to do something fun for the Discord. Sometimes I'm kind of chaotic evil. I'm just like, let's go. I think it'll be fun though. I think it'll be good. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So then it shows whenever the I do a rebuild. So the 5th would have been yesterday, right? Oh no, that was today. Why this monitor is down? Oh, did you just do this? Oh, did I do a reboot? I might have rebooted the auth server. Occasionally I do rebuilds whenever I work on the interop. Anyways, sorry, I completely forgot. The whole reason for me doing the forms was to do a Discord bridge. Yeah, well, so people that don't want to do age verification. Great name, by the way, Bojanked. Thank you for the sub. If you don't want to do like age verification with Discord, I wanted to be able to pull stuff from Discord and put it on the forums. And then also push stuff from the forums to Discord, so then we can mesh together everything. So then I did OAuths for GitHub, because there's people that do like GitHub sponsors. YouTube members, which that's still janky, and I still have to kind of do a manual sync. So I don't know how well that's working. Twitch subs, pretty easy. Actually, Twitch has a fantastic API. So I really dig Twitch's API. And then Patreon. There's only a few Patreon members, so that's not too terrible. But that's actually probably the easiest integration to do is Patreon. Yeah, so I integrated all of them into the forums, and then also went there. So pretty great. Bojank, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, brother. Awesome. And yeah, I think that should be pretty good. I thought we had mods over on Twitch too. I don't know. Anyways, I'm trying to kind of like sync everything together. It's a bit of a mess, but that's how it always starts out. I think one of the things when it comes to developing any kind of product or service or whatever you're trying to do, one thing I would say is just make peace with the fact it's going to suck when you launch it. It's just going to be the worst thing ever. And do it anyways. That's like whether you're starting Twitch or YouTube or launching software, my philosophy remains the same. Just do it and just realize you suck. It's not going to turn out the way you want it to. It's going to be awful. And then just get over it and then do it again and make it a little bit better the next time. And that's really the secret sauce to success. Whether it's software or any of it. Just keep, what was that? What's that? Keep the Robbins. Just keep moving. No, not keep moving. Just keep going. There's a great kids movie from the 2000s. Meet the Robinsons. And it has a great line in there. Just keep swimming? No, that was Dory. That's actually a pretty good one, too. That was from Finding Nemo. Keep moving forward. There we go. My wife got it. All right. Sweet. Now, guys, we need to do something today. And I've been saying we're going to do something in LinUtil. By the way, the Gitea that's coming out on Saturday, you know how everyone's like saying GitHub's dying or it's the end of the world, and I don't want to do a video on that because who cares? So what I thought was I wanted to do a Gitea instance to where it mirrors GitHub, so then when GitHub goes down, I can just submit to the Gitea, and then when GitHub comes back up, it'll just sync it. So it's my fix to have 100% uptime is just to do mirrors on my Gitea instance. And it works pretty good. So anyways. Man, I can't breathe today. Sorry. I had a giant spicy sandwich before starting the stream. It was Korean, like, sweet and spicy, and I gotta say, my body's making choices right now. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But anyways, the idea from that is I could do mirrors from GitHub, and it's good to go. And then all my private repos, I'm just going to delete from GitHub and just put them all right here because it's just easier. Anyways, let's go to GitHub. Hey, it actually loaded. Great. What's happening with LinUtil? Let's get moving on some projects. Enough chip yappity yapping. Let's go. All right. Add missing import to Olama installer. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, yeah. We forgot an import on the bash script. That's a pretty easy fix. Save, squash, and merge. Let's go to the next one, shall we? Do a couple pull requests here. Oh, did you know Top Grade? So I did a video last week about Top Grade for upgrading your stuff. Speaking of Mac, Top Grade is in Brew. It's in Homebrew, and it works on Mac. So I did a Top Grade on my Mac instance, and it worked fantastic. So Top Grade also works on Mac and Linux. Did not know that. I wish I mentioned it in the video. I was just like, Mac users got to use something like Top Grade. Wish I could go back and change that, because I would say Mac user can just use Top Grade. It does the system updates and oh, what's that, X tool or whatever the stupid Mac tool is. It updates that, and then it updates all the brew. So Top Grade works on Mac. Who knew? Something I found out last night. All right, make time zone offline fallback TZ select, which is included in the script with TZ data. Okay. The command TZ select is part of TZ data. Really? Let's run the workflows on this just to make sure it doesn't do anything. Read RP. Detect a time zone. Is it correct? Yes. Okay. No. TZ select. Ah. How cool. So it'll auto detect it, and then during the server setup, if you say no to it, it'll go ahead, launch TZ select, and then you just select it. Dope. I agree with that. Let's go. That is pretty neat. Fix some grammar. Grammar's overrated. Let's let the shell check go through. Xcode tools. Yeah, that's what it is called. I always hate updating that crap. It takes forever. Yeah, you think Aussie who's installed Aussie in chat? I want to try it on like my M1 Mac Mini I still have. I think it might make for like a good headless box to go into, because I think I can just plug into it, and then we can do some stuff. I think that'd be fun. Yeah, you can do M1 and M2 on Aussie, but you can't do the later ones. But I have an old M1 Mac Mini, so my thought process was, yeah, well, I'll just put that in the rack up top, and then I got a nice little headless system, which will be pretty cool. And then I can do like either like iSCSI or NFS, and then just use that for most of the stuff. Nav, thanks for the resub. 6 months, man. All right, man. I thought Nav was been around for longer than 6 months. I swear I saw you like years ago. Anyhow, this is all checkmark green. Let's squash and merge. Linting passed. Our unit tests are fantastic. Let's go. Also, I talked to Koi, and I think I complained on a stream a week or two ago. Anyways, my AUR, I'm on the AUR now, and I can do the updates. Although Harsh, I don't know if he's still in chat, but Harsh is doing most of the maintenance on it, but I'm also a co-maintainer on LinUtil now. Just in case Harsh goes on vacay, I can now update LinUtil in the AUR. Fix system update. I know it took me like 2 years to get there, but I got there eventually. As with everything with me, I'm just a little slower. Blame the gray hair. The gray hair right here. I'm just a little slow, that's all. Use the extra package for rate mirrors instead of the AUR. Are we using the AUR for that? Really? Oh, damn, he's right. Yeah, okay. Yep, you're right. You're right, brother. I don't know why I'm using that. I remember my first PR. How many PRs has Gabby done on WinUtil now? Dude, you have to be over 100 PRs now. Add top grade option. Harsh, yes. See, yeah, Harsh V, he has been doing a lot of the maintenance on LinUtil on the AUR and updating it. So, but Koi was the first one to do it. Common. We're not interacting with services with top grade, so we don't need the services script. There's run top grade. If command okay, cool. Else. Okay, cool. That looks like good logic to me. Pretty basic. I'm digging these simple PRs, man. So much. I am digging it. All right, moving on. Fix CacheOS. What's wrong with it? Somebody that no markdown. Let me fix it for him. There you go. Switch CacheOS install to use CacheOS automated install to avoid constant updates. Really? Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Oh, this is when we added all the CacheOS repos to a regular Arch instance. That's right. All right. Sweet. Let's go. I'm digging it. Let's merge it. I probably should go ahead and rebuild this before we get too far. I kind of want to just get to the dependent bot stuff and then go add Zathura. Zathura. That's like that kids movie from the 2000s with Dax Shepard. All right. Has anybody ever used Zathura? Anything? Anything? You have a 2,000 line PR? Mental note to self. Do not check WinUtil. So nobody's heard of Zathura. All I know is it's a movie. I've never heard of it. All right. Damn it, now I gotta look. I gotta look at this 2,000 line PR. I just gotta. Oh, what do we have? I bet it's the fix import. No, that is not. That's only 46. That's only 6. Huh. I like it. What code are you changing here? It's only 6 lines. Settings page visibility for Explorer. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that tweak before. That's pretty dope. Let me approve that, actually. I don't need to review that anymore. Clean up applications. Oh. You remove ShareX. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Ah, see, he already knew. He already knew I was gonna just be like, absolutely not. ShareX, it has to be there. Oh, Yusuf throwing down the gauntlet, calling it a bad PR. Let's go. Cage match, fight. Yeah, Advanced IP, Anki, CMake, any of those other programs being removed as niche or useless. That's true. Those are good programs. Alacrity. Does anybody use Alacrity on Windows? I don't think I ever use any terminal other than just Windows terminal on Windows. Okay, okay. Ah, look at that. Gabby's like, yep, totally get it. If there's demand, bring them back. We should provide a starting point, like Gabby. Yep, okay. Scotsman's coming to the Gabby's side here. All right, damn, let's look at it. I mean, I hate to review this online, but I think this is the time. This is what live streams are made of, folks. Not that I'm going to read chat, but if there's a thing in here that we should remove, I do feel like the programs have gotten a little bloated over the years, and I'm all for taking a hatchet to it. Yeah, we might lop off a limb or two, but having a more fine-grained, like, succinct program is always better than a bloated program. All right, let's see what we got. First, we're killing a fine. Never used it, don't care. AI as a workspace, don't care. AIMP music player, never used it. Oh, no, I did use it for a little bit. It sucked. Don't use it. Anaconda 3, don't really use it. RDC Man. RDC Man has a warm spot in my heart. I don't really use it these days, but man, 10 years ago, I was using RDC Man like left and right. If you're unfamiliar, it would keep like a whole bunch of different RDP files or RDP sessions that you can reconnect to on the fly in a single user interface. I don't even think Microsoft really keeps up with it anymore, and I don't even know if it's even used anymore. What was the last time this thing actually was updated? God, I love RDC Man, though. It was so much good. Oh, 2026 actually. It's still useful. Anybody use RDC Man, or am I alone here? I might be alone here. You're alone. Okay, there we go. Eldar at work. Okay, cool. There's some sysadmins in chat at least. I was like, aw. Honestly, though, most of those guys probably already have it installed, and they're not doing RDC Man on a new setup box. So yeah, I think we can get rid of it. I mean, most people just use RDP, which is, you know, MTSC direct from run. And honestly, I don't really use RDC Man much these days. So it's fine. It doesn't need to be a quick install. Auto it. It's super niche. I agree. I mean, I used it for a bit, but these days not so much. Azure Data Studio. It's pretty niche. Barrier. I mean, Barrier's great, but honestly, I think these days most people use... What's the fork? Barrier was a fork of Synergy, but now there's a fork of Barrier. Input Leap. Input Leap. If you have never heard of Input Leap, this was a fork of Barrier, so this is kind of where we're at in... last release was in 2025, though. So Input Leap hasn't really seen much. 6 months was the last commit. What about Barrier? 4 years. Damn. All right, yeah. Input Leap's still your best bet for open source sharing a KVM. Pretty niche still, but yeah, Input Leap's my recommendation. Bat, you know, somebody turned me on to Bat for like a fancy cat. As I've used this more, I need to remove this from my Bash RC because it's super annoying. Dang it. What did I do here? Well, let's just stash it. We'll drop the stash. Git pull. Vim bash RC. 1 second. Let me fix this before I forget. Is Bat even here? Oh, it's not even here. Did we fix grep as well? Grep sometimes screws with me. No. No. Alright, good. Oh, I need to get rid of Hastebin as well. I deleted this server. I need to do like a new Hastebin to give code snippets to people. I deleted my Hastebin server that was on my VPS. So that doesn't work anymore. I need to go back through my bash. Yeah, it might be that time of year. Damn it, I got 10 more videos to make and I don't have time to redo all of these. Alright, lazy G, remove, Hastebin. Okay. Yeah, but I agree. Get rid of Bat. Beeper. Oh, dude. Beeper is one of those things where it's like, man, it would be nice if it worked really well. But it always feels kind of jank to me. And somebody at work actually talked to me, a good buddy of mine. He was like, you know what? That's kind of messed up. You know how everyone gives Apple so much shit for iMessage being like separated off and it's in its own ecosystem? And I was like, yep, totally get it. Hate Apple for doing it. Them just closing off iMessage. He's like, you know what though? Google and Android are just as bad. And I was like, really? How so? I don't know if I agree with this statement. He was like, name another app that has RCS that's not Google Messages. And I was like, well, surely there's another app. No. Samsung Messages for a little bit had it. I don't even know if it has it anymore. But there's no other apps that have RCS. It's all like this proprietary Google thing. So literally here in the States, when it comes to SMS, like I know all the Europe people in chat are just like, you silly Americans using SMS. That's terrible. But here in America, that's what we do. We use typically iMessage or RCS from Android. And both are like proprietary, closed off piece of shit systems. It's kind of crazy. So anyways. Beeper was supposed to fix some of that, but last I checked, it didn't. Yeah. Samsung Messages used to support RCS, but I think they've discontinued it. Yeah. It's kind of funny. Anyways, I don't think anybody should use SMS, period. I don't really care. Anyways, get rid of Beeper, that's fine. BleachBit, I like BleachBit, but do I use it very often? Not very much. Bulk rename utility, meh. Buzz, never used it. Advanced renamer, never used it. Cryptomator, meh. Citrix Workspace, no. I mean, I might use it, but honestly, it'll auto-install as soon as you go to your company's website anyways. Calibre. Calibre is the best. I think you should... Well... It's the best piece of software ever made. I just love Calibre to death. But I have my main system with all my books loaded on it. So it's kind of like, how many people use Calibre in chat? Yeah. Calibre is the GOAT. I totally agree. See, look at all those people. We got to add Calibre back in. Because if people don't know what Calibre is, they should just install it. It's like opening up your mind. It's amazing. Screw Amazon and their closed ecosystem. I think I saw a video earlier this week where they were bricking some old Kindle devices. I was like, who buys a Kindle in 2026, though? That's kind of crazy. I kind of want to get a books. Although right now I have an old Kobo. I think it's Kobo. I can't remember the model, but I love the Kobo. Kobo's a fantastic e-reader. It's my favorite. But I probably want to try a books. I want to get like a big old 10-inch. That's what she said. E-reader books. It would be great. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm good with getting rid of that. Chrome. We're not getting rid of Chrome. Surely that's there. Claude Code, Clementine. What am I using? Oh, I'm using Music Bee, actually. Oh, Clone Hero. That was a fun one. But, yeah, pretty niche. CopyQ. If you're not familiar, Clone Hero, you can actually get a guitar. I actually set this up. It's kind of cool. So you can download all of your games. So if you liked Guitar Hero from back in the day, Clone Hero is a more generic version. And you can actually sit there and do... Getting a guitar with all the stuff and like the frets and all that is difficult. But I think a friend of ours, she was throwing out an old Wii with the guitar. And I was like, ooh, I'll grab that. And I got an adapter. The adapter was like $60 or $70 and came from like Transylvania or some crap. But fantastic. And apparently that was like the sweet spot. The Wii guitar with that adapter has like the less amount of latency to work with Clone Hero. So I like lucked out. And I got a really good guitar. I set it up like 2 or 3 years ago. Haven't really touched it since. A lot of times I just like setting things up. And then as soon as it's working, I'm kind of like, I'm bored now. I'm moving on to the next project. CMake's there, so we're not getting rid of CMake. CopyQ, CPU-Z's there. Cap Frame X. Huh, yeah, I don't ever use that. Crystal Diskmark, do use. Danger Zone. Yeah, that was kind of a recent addition. Darktable, DAC Studio X. This is pretty niche. I do agree. DeepL, Deluge. I mean... really shouldn't be running these on your desktop anyways. I mean, I guess you could. It's kind of crazy. Like most people when they're doing torrenting, they do VPNs, which I'm kind of like, you just hate yourself and want to move everything closer. Like proxy servers essentially solve the same problem of, chewing your IP, but proxy servers work way faster than a VPN. So if you do ever use torrents, please just proxy that sucker. Don't use a VPN. It's just slow. Proxy. Mark my words. And if you want to go even faster than that, news groups. Amazing. DevToys. Yeah, I never used it. Digicam, never used it. Ditto, Docker Desktop. .NET 3, .NET 5. Most of these need to be manually installed anyways. Nobody really should be using .NET 5 these days. So I think honestly this never had LTS either. So .NET 6 did, DMT, ECM. Sortum has some really cool tools for Windows. I do like ECM. I don't use it very often though. News groups are kind of what the internet started out. Before like Google and a bunch of search engines, everything worked off of news groups. But in modern day news groups, you still have to sign up for a service. Usually it's like $12 a month. And it's able to do, essentially it's like a supercharged torrent. And the tricky part is, instead of it being full peer-to-peer, you'll still have like a primary server that sits in the middle. So think of like a hub and spoke model. And that central server typically will feed the data to you, and then it'll connect with all the other people that are connecting to it, and then it goes really, really fast. So like, let's say you have a gigabit connection. You can max out that gigabit connection fairly simple using a use group, where a torrent typically will go a lot slower. And typically it's all private, but the trick is to sign up with the news group service. You have to sign up for the service, and then there's also another sign up, which is the feed. Somebody in chat will correct me here. I'm drawing a blank. But what's the other thing you need? Indexer. Thank you. I was like, gosh. It's like, I don't know why my brain's not working. But yes, the indexer with the actual service. So you have to sign up for an indexer, and then you also need the actual service itself for news groups. But after you do that, man, you're going to look at torrents and be like, look at these peasants over here. It's like that meme. Oh, what is it? Look what they can do with a mere fraction of our power. Or I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. This would be news groups, and this would be torrents over here. So it's a great reference for what we're talking about when it comes to news groups and torrents. But yes, worth checking out. Not my channel, not gonna go into depth with that, because as soon as you get into some of the content and stuff, the legalese and stuff behind that's just not my jam. So I'm never gonna talk about it. But I will make references to, I will show you the door, and it's up to you whether or not you walk through it. I'm just full of meme references today. Alright, EFI bootloader editor. I don't think I've ever used that. Emulation station. God. Talk about the GOAT. Emulation station's amazing. I've been so into retro gaming. Oh, retro achievements, guys. If you don't know and you like your retro games, check out retroachievements.org. Use Emulation Station. Get on here, and you can just go absolutely crazy. And it has Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation 1 and 2, Atari, Sega, NES. And it gives achievements for all these, and then you get put into like a leaderboard, which is super neat. I love it. So yeah, I've been playing some retro games late at night. Sometimes I have I have the box. The Retroid Pocket. It's actually over on my nightstand, so there's actually nothing in this box. But this thing is super cool. Here's the little page. Retroid. That's what it looks like. But it's an OLED screen, so it's really neat. Anyways, you hook that up with your retro achievements so you can jam out to like Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2, PlayStation, and then just be on a little screen like this, just going to town anywhere you want, and then you unlock achievements and then compete with your friends. It's a blast. Oh, yeah. And I made one for my wife, and that was she liked DS games, and she liked like the Professor Layton games. So I set that up for her, so she has her DS emulated. I think it was a Abernic DS something rather, and then you put a custom image on that from Rocknix, and that was really cool for her, so she could play all those old games too. All right, sorry. What do we got? So much fun though. Retro gaming, just a blast. I wish it had more old school, like old PC games, because like the old Sierra games were so cool. it was great. WinUtil is better positioned as a quick setup tool for fresh Windows install, focus for essentials. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree. Anyways, Zathura PDF. I don't think anybody has ever used this. We don't know what that is. It has comic book support. Huh. Space Adventure. PDF, Linux. Alright, PWMT. This organization behind it. Functional document viewer. Mouse-free navigation. Huh. It's kind of cool. Where's the screenshots? Huh. That's cool. But yeah, pretty niche. I'm going to close this out. A bit too niche. Cool website. Cool tool. I'll have to check it out sometime. Oh, Fluffy. Or no, Abs was mentioned this. Game Independence. Speaking of the devil. Speaking of the devil when it comes to retro gaming. Abs has been hard at work fixing some stuff for our retro games over here. Let's take a look at his PR. Oh, he's changing. I wonder what he was changing here. With the assert EQ going to just an assert. Okay. And then filters. Huh. So this is changing it from being mutable to immutable. Getting rid of a loop. Oh, it was a loop with a break, which is not very good formatting. He's going into a regular for loop. Yeah, looks like a better structure. And then he's removing the mutability for the self-focus. Now it's becoming floating. Alright. Feels like this is not quite what is listed here. Let me see what else. It doesn't say what those other ones are. Alright, other changes. Boolean test assertions now use assert. Iterator loop cleaned up, which would look a lot better. Collapse mouse event match. Refactor floating window key handling in a borrow safe way. Okay. I like it. Let's go. Let's pull this guy down. Let's do a cargo build. Before I merge this, since we're doing a fundamental Rust change instead of just bash scripts, we're going to go ahead and do a build, make sure we get no errors, and then a run. Then we're going to merge this. And then we'll also test. Perfect. That looks great. Squash and merge. We'll pull and run this too. Then we'll update all our dependencies. I have noticed Rust has a lot of the packages have a lot of security issues as they go. I think it's just because it's such a young language. But I am constantly updating the dependencies on this package. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to tell you the truth. So, gaming emulators. Let's just run one real fast to make sure this works. Yeah. Install. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I need to go back and go into Resolve. I've actually got a bunch of different different stuff going on. Oh, what do we got going on here? I think that's just probably me. Let's just do a top grade. I just updated this. We'll just do it SYU, see what happens. Doesn't look like very much. I wonder why this failed. Let's try it again. We'll try PS2 emulator again. So it's installing the Git. Yeah, it's fine. It's just been a bit, I guess, since I installed something. Interesting. Anywho. That does work. Let's go. Now we just have dependabot stuff, which probably will break more crap because dependabot always ends up breaking things. Why for two options it said 1 through 3? I think that was a scripting issue. Let's take a look. Be this one. So install PCSX2 1 through 3. So technically it would be 1 through 2. It's a typo. Alright, go ahead and submit that back. Fix the typo. Good stuff. It's a manually coded choice menu. Now, I didn't make that. That was a PR from somebody. I can't remember who. I need to go back through and clean up some of that stuff. Does Chris ever answer questions from chat? Sometimes, whenever I see them. DaVinci Resolve works great on my system. But it's a big but. I think I have Resolve. Do I have it over here? Yeah, it's this GitHub over here. Here's my Resolve fix. So I have a backup, a fix, and there's a bunch of nuances about this. Now, Linux folks typically are kind of nuts. They're just nutty. They just like to stick their head in the sand and pretend like errors don't exist a lot of times. Resolve in Linux is jank AF. Let's just be real. You don't have AAC support, so just throw that out the window. If you need something with AAC support natively, Resolve ain't it in Linux. You can re-encode things and it's fine. To get x264 encoding, you have to buy the Studio. I understand Windows users don't have to do this, but on Linux you do. Otherwise, it won't be able to read x264. None of these are problems, mind you, because AAC, yes, it's the standard, but it sucks. And people are stupid, and they think AAC is better. AAC is one of the worst out there for the codecs. I personally love Opus. I think Opus sounds better. I think it encodes better. I think it streams better. It's more efficient. It's just better. From looking at all my thousands of videos I've made, Opus seems to be the best. So, that's one way of getting around it. This script, also, if you're using Arch Linux, you might know when you try to launch Resolve, it just doesn't launch. You're like, what the hell? Because it's meant to run on non-rolling releases. So there's certain libraries that you have to set. My fix is to just create it and essentially push those old libraries to the newer libraries and load those up in the preload and then launch Resolve, and it launches perfect. So I just do that, and then I modify the desktop. So when you go Resolve and launch Resolve, it sets those variables up, all those libraries get set up, and then it launches into it. So that's Resolve 20. This works great. Now you might want to re-encode into x264 format or x265. You need to install the encoder for that. So you have to actually set that up too. The other thing, when you get into Resolve, there's so many little gotchas. The other thing I've run into in the past is under Fusion, which I don't even have my Fusion tab. What happened to my Fusion tab? Oh, did I? I think on this system I did change that. One second. Where is tabs? Why did I remove that? I'm so silly sometimes. Show panel. Effects. Fusion. Show page. Fusion. There we go. All right. So now we got our Fusion tab. So come on over to the Fusion tab. Under Fusion, go into Fusion settings. Under Fusion, go to Path Map. Under Path Map, you want to look for fonts. Here's a fun fact. It only pulls in and references system fonts in Resolve. Janky AF, 1000%. So then when you're starting to pull in special transitions and actually use your Resolve, you'll come to find out most Linux people just lie to you and just say, oh, Resolve works perfect. I'm like, okay. Just because you got the damn thing to launch doesn't mean it works perfect. So anyways, you might realize, oh, it says font missing, but I have my font installed. Well, you have your font installed under the user folder. This one is not there. So let's fix that real fast. 1 second. Resolve fix. README. Make a section for fixing fonts as Resolve by default only uses system fonts in the USR share fonts directory. Show how to change the fonts by using Fusion settings. And then going to Path Map, and then going to Fonts, and changing the default value from, what was it? System fonts colon to system fonts plus user fonts at home / local share fonts. So let's make a new section here and document this out for people so they won't run into this problem. This bothered me for hours, by the way, and drives me completely insane when I run into it. So I'm like, I've got to document this. I keep forgetting. And anyways, that's fine. Go blah, 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 blah. Copy. Let's make sure that's it. All right. So now we can use user fonts with that. Perfect. Keep it. So then we'll grab this section. Copy that. Let's go ahead and submit this to the Resolve fix. Every time I run into a Resolve fix, I'm always trying to support it and send it into my Resolve fix repo on GitHub. And then we just come over here, boop, save it. And now when we quit Resolve and reopen, it would read user fonts and system fonts, and now all your title screens will work. All of your transitions will work with custom fonts that are only installed on your user. instead of just relying on system fonts, you no longer have to do that. Anyways, I digress. I go down some rabbit holes here. I just noticed that annoyance as well. So anyways, yeah, AV1, Opus are pretty much for everything. Agreed. I do have special presets for YouTube. I like to use a 30,000 bit rate and X264 encoding with, I think, FLAC or near raw audio for the encoding to YouTube. It gives a pretty crispy file at the end of it all. Anywho, we got that done. What else we have going? I can't remember. Have you tried using an auto unattend file to load a Windows install file? Yeah, I actually made a lot of files about that. Technically, Win11 Creator uses an auto unattended. You could also use this directly in Rufus. I think you can easily toss in an unattended XML. Schneegens is the de facto unattended thing. So if you never use Schneegens, what have you doing with your life? Schneegens XML unattended is the bomb. It's been around for, dude, I think I've been using it for 2 decades at this point. Anyways, I'm gonna put that in chat just so you guys know. If you do want to create your own unattended for Windows, Schneegens is the bomb. Yeah, so we don't really use Schneegens. Our unattended's kind of bare bones. But it's a good starting spot for someone that doesn't know what they're doing with unattended. Schneegens will make sure you don't fall into too much trouble. Wayfinder NMVim to check out. Help my improve workflow. Wow, really? I'm always looking for ways to improve my Neovim experience. I do have that Neovim video coming out tomorrow. Neovim, Wayfinder NVim. What do we got? What do we have here? Oh. That's kind of cool. Oh, no. Just looking at that. Pop-out's kind of weird here. .file.com. It's kind of weird hosting. As everyone splinters off of GitHub, it's only going to get worse. That's cool. So you can go from your function to like the declaration of... handy. Speaking of which, that reminds me. God, I'm so ADD, HDA today. It's just ridiculous. I just remembered when I was doing my video, I screwed something up. And, oof. Actually, what was it? I think it was under plugins. Completion editor. Heck, it might have been UI actually. TZ. I think I got rid of my Zen when I was redoing everything. I think I screwed up. Yeah, I think TZ Zen mode. Yeah. And I needed to add I can't remember what the Zen mode plugin was. Was there a Zen mode in Snacks? I might just need to configure this. I can't remember. I bet Snacks has a Zen mode. Yeah, Snacks has a Zen mode. Disregard. Yeah, I think I was using True Zen or Zen mode. I can't remember. Anyways. Setup needs to happen here. I just got to fix my Zen mode real fast. I might fix this in VS Code, actually. Ah, lordy. Okay. Look away, chat. You don't see anything. It's fine. Yeah, one of these days, I'm gonna fix this to where I don't do this. But you know what? Snacks to use Zen mode at Control plus backspace. Nub, thank you for the resub. 5 months, man. Time goes by so fast. Anyways, configure snacks to use Zen mode. Control backspace. Right now, I saw in my key mapping file directly, I had Zen mode bound to control backspace, and it was right about in here somewhere. Ah, right here. Yeah. It was trying to use TZ something or other. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We're going to close that out. And then we're going to go over to snacks. And I don't think I have snacks Zen mode. It should be snacks at control backspace. Yeah, let's just do this. Zen's enabled true. But I can't remember. I was going to have it look at the key maps and see. Yeah, I forgot to just toggle Zen mode using that. I had an old plugin that I replaced with Snacks. Snacks has so many really cool features. I've been trying to kind of consolidate my plugins. Anywho. Let's just fix that since I broke my Zen mode when I did the 0.12 update, and I've been meaning to fix that. It just popped into my brain, and I was like, oh crap, I didn't fix that. Now it's fixed. Anyways, so then in Zen mode, oops, my bad. Yeah, anyways, let's go 16. So then with Zen mode, I can go bloop, and then I'm just zenning out. Just typing my stuff in Zen mode. Full Zen. And then I'm back to regular mode. Zen mode, regular mode. Yeah. Anyways. I've been meaning to fix that. All right, you guys have been spamming chat. I can neither confirm nor deny this meme. It makes sense to me sometimes. That's why I test. A Rust programmer. I am not. You guys could have played along though. There's new people in chat that might see me popping around in a Rust project and be like, "Oh, this guy really knows how to code." We could have at least put up a facade for at least a stream or two. Love you guys. You're great. You're great. Let's work on some form stuff like the offset at the nav bar. Oh, Scotsman, that's true. You can't hold the show for 2 minutes. Well, at least I'm entertaining. Or as the great Leroy Jenkins said, at least I got chicken. All right. This guy's like Primogen Light. Oh, man. Not good. Oh, here. Wait, if we want to go full Primogen here. Reddit is blocking its mobile site for some viewers. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Reddit is currently blocking some user's site on its mobile. It's crazy. Oh my god. This is nuts. Like, look at this. Experience Reddit. Holy crap. Oh my god. Let's we need to get in here. Emergency. We gotta do this in Neovim. Let's add some more stuff. I'll paste it in here a few times. Go up 5K. Oh my god. Oh my god. So great. So great. All right. That's my Primogen impression. Pretty terrible. But alas. Breaking news. I got a new article to go over. Let's pull it into Neovim. I'm waiting for the day he discovers Newsboat. If you guys haven't known Newsboat, that is going to be great. That's right. I do praise my wife. If you guys didn't know, I have a beautiful wife. We sleep together every night in the same bed. Yep, she's gorgeous. Wish you were like me. There we go. Now we've gone full Primogen. Oh, we got to install Harpoon though. I love Prime. I kid. I love Prime. By the way, did I tell you I used to work at wait a second. If we're gonna do this, we gotta do it right. 1 second. Yoga ball. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's do some coding. I'm ready. Oh my god. Oh. Actually, I think my back does feel better. He might be onto something with that damn yoga ball. Oh. All right. Let's write some Rust code. I'm good. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, 11 out of 10. I couldn't tell the difference. I think I will buy a yoga ball though. That actually, I'm not kidding. I think it actually helped my back a little bit. Oh man, Chris News. Nobody takes me seriously. It's okay. I like being in my own little spot here, working on my little projects in my own little corner of my garage. It's a beautiful life. It's a simple life. I dig it. All right, what was I doing? Does anybody even remember? Okay, look. Oh, form messages. That's where we were at. So forms. Yep. All right. Oh, what do we got? Uh, we need to fix how this looks. One thing I suck at is any kind of front-end development. If it needs to look pretty, I am not the guy to talk to. What should I do here? Oh, Theo. Man, I love Theo too. I got some ideas. I definitely got some ideas on that. I got a skateboard. Oh no, I'm gonna hurt myself on that though. It would be so bad. You are not Theo. It will be even more evident whenever I do my skateboarding. I'm just gonna like cruise down and then just like fall. Oh no, a hill! I'll jump off into the grass. You're too old to ride a skateboard. Facts, Gabby. But entertainment is what I do here. And I think it'd be hell of entertaining to see some 40-year-old try and ride a skateboard for the first time in his life. Me and my daughter did ride skateboards a little bit, like a couple years back. So it was fun. But inevitably, as soon as I got to the ollie part and started trying to do some tricks, I fell. I damn near broke my hip. True story. Like, straight up. It's makes you respect those skateboarders out there, because damn, falling on concrete, woo. It's like, nope, that's a little bit too much for me. It's true. Think of the views. All right. Well, okay, so the forums right now, I have them set up. I went ahead and have them pretty squished together. I feel like this title bar kind of sucks. It needs to be removed. I like the leaderboard with the categories, but I think some people might get lost on some of that. I added the little button for christitus.com, so that's fine. Was there... Oh, I have some DMs here. Fallen GME. Here we go. Move the CM roll up. Okay. Do we have roles? Probably admin, huh? I'll try not to dox myself here. Probably end up doing that, though. It sounds like something I would do. Alright, under groups. Right now we have... Twitch subscribers are getting synced over here, which is working great. I don't think we have any GitHub sponsors that have signed up yet, or Patreon folks, but that should work whenever they do sign up, so hopefully that goes. We're moderators. Yeah. What else do we want? We actually added the christitus.com. I did like 5 rebuilds to get it there. I'm not removing it. Who wants to go to christitus.com? It's niche. It's a fair point. It's a fair point, Gabby. Yeah. So the idea behind it was, so you're on the main site and you can flip back and forth between each site. I went ahead and matched like the color scheme up for each one, so it should be pretty easy to go back and forth between the two, which is good. But yeah, sometimes I do notice the CSS is kind of weird for it. Modifying discourse can kind of suck at some point in time. There's very few little bit to do. No one's visiting your website. You know what, Gabby? I'm about to just lay it down on you. You want to see? You want to see my stats? I'll show you. Nobody come visit my website. I'm going to show you, Gabby. I'll show you what no one come visits looks like. Let me go through the stupid do factor here. 1 second. Oh, man, I'm going to show you nobody coming to my website. All right. Uh-huh. Why does Cloudflare like docs? Ugh. All right, that's okay. I'll just take a screenshot of it. 30 days. Yes. Let me hide that. And we're almost ready. Almost ready. These are the stats. Does that look like no one visits my website? I may have got rage baited. But we have 1.35 million unique visitors every 30 days. Over 14 million requests. I pay a good bit for caching with Cloudflare. And over 385 gigabytes served. Yeah, buddy. Half of them are bots. Probably. Wish they could train the bots to click more Google ads. But yeah, believe it or not, there is independent websites still doing well. And I've always, that's why I still do articles on my website. I know people make fun of me for it, but I'm just like, you know what? There's something to be said for just having a simplistic website with basic articles, not just got crap going every which way. You're not doing sponsored posts. I always have people pull up in my inbox going, how much money is it for me to sponsor a post or do an ad? And I'm like, we don't do that here. I'm like, go away. I get these, it happens all the time in my emails where I'll literally have a marketer, which marketing people are kind of like the most brain dead people in the world. I'm sorry if you're marketing, but it's pretty funny. They literally will have a whole discussion with themselves in my inbox. I won't ever reply to any other emails, but they're going to go back they'll sit there and go, hey, just following up. Hey, just following up. Last chance. And I'm like, bro, you are on your 5th or 6th email to me. I've never responded. This is like, just stop. Take me off the list, whatever it is. I'm obviously not interested. But it's still like every day I open up my email, I'm just like, this is pretty hilarious to see all these marketing people talking to themselves. So great. Anyways. All right. Take it easy, Tails. Have a good night, man. All right. What was I missing here? Fluffy, check the topic. Okay. I don't know what the topic is. You're gonna have to let me know on that one. Oh, what else we have? Added the forums into your website. Did not accept my PR for weeks ago. There's a PR? There's a PR on the website? Oh. Oops. My bad. Oh, you know what? I actually put forums kind of in between downloads and newsletter. I think is where I wanted it. So I didn't. I just was like, instead of changing your PR, I just kind of did my own. I'll go ahead and close that out, though. I appreciate the contribution, but not needed. Thank you, good sir. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to put it like right here. So it'd be go downloads, forums, live streams, newsletter, sections. And then the live streams, you can just go right in here. Oh my gosh, that's a great little screen cap for today's stream. But anyways. Ignoring PRs like usual. Yeah, it's me. Oh, we never did finish the pull request for LinUtil. Let's clean that up. While we're sitting here, let's go ahead and clean that bad boy up. Because today's stream is LinUtil focused. Let's just see what we get here. 85% compatibility. I like it. Let's go. Alright, bump that. It looks like this is failing on Clippy, huh? Really? Okay, that's working. Well, let's merge this in and see what happens. Looks like it's gonna break everything, but c'est la vie. Bump image from 25.9 to 25.10. Let's make sure there's no other bumps here. Alright, yep, no, image only bumps once. Let's just merge that. Probably should check this out and then fix the code and then merge. Alright, let's do it the proper way. Fine. Let's go open up LinUtil. Let's pull in that dependabot. We're not going to use AI. I'm going to try and do it by myself. What do you guys think? We're going to try and code the old-fashioned way. Although GitHub might be broken again. It looks like it's not refreshing. Oh, come on, dude. What? Okay, all systems are operational. So maybe it's just my current network. What is happening? All right, let's just hit refresh. All right, let's just close out and relaunch maybe. I know what everybody's thinking. Could just use Neovim. Bro, it's not loading. All right, since we already imitated Prime earlier, I guess there's no there's no better time than now to adopt some Neovim action, shall we? All right, let's try and do a git checkout 1262. So git checkout number 1262. What's how do you list the branches? We're gonna do it all CLI. Go old school with it. Everyone's asking that. Why Gitea instead of Forgejo? Damn, maybe I need to redo that video and do everything in Forgejo, but I don't know. I already set up the container, so I'm kind of like, I don't want to. Well, you know what? We'll just do Gitea first, and then we'll just do Forgejo in the future. GitLab's super heavy. That's why I don't use GitLab. Self-hosting GitLab is like stupid heavy. Where Gitea is like 100 megs worth of memory needed, where GitLab you need like 4 gigs. It's crazy. I still kind of want some kind of GUI tool. We're gonna just go to desktop. Pull requests. All right, here we go. What's this? Add more documentation. Huh. Anyways. All right, so now we're on image. And we go cargo build. This should fail because the linter failed. Alas, it did not fail. Let's go back to main. Let's merge it. Yeah, there was no problems with that lint, so I'm not sure what happened there. I guess my unit test broke. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. Next up. Clap. Looks like a minor bump from 4.6 to 4.6.1. 86. I'm pretty happy with that. Says Rust is not linting on this guy, so maybe this was the one that was having issues. So let's go. Let's refresh this real fast. All right, so this one should fail. Let's build it. Yeah, that one didn't fail either. All right. Well, this is underwhelming. Let's just rerun that. Yeah, it's showing that that failed, but let's just rerun the job. I think it's just wrong. Cargo Clippy. All right. I mean, Cargo Clippy looked good too. Yeah, let's see what the lints look like from the unit test. So maybe there was something going on with the base code at the time when the Dependabot initially did the PR, and then it just failed. It's kind of weird. I bet this goes and gives me a green checkbox, and it goes just fine. Well, this lint should come from here, so from the actual PR. So this has the changed code with the updated dependency. Okay, so this one did fail still. But why? This loop. Oh. Abs removed this. So Abs already fixed this section. When remember that earlier PR we did, like, what, 30 minutes, an hour ago? Abs removed the loop because I was like, doing a loop and then a break to get out of the loop is just bad. No matter what language you're in, that's just bad coding. And Abs changed it to a for loop instead of that style. And I think he fixed a lot of this, actually. Anywho, this works. So if we did a new lint job, I wonder, because this just reruns. When you rerun a job of a unit test, it runs it as if it was back in time before any PRs. But if we grab this and say run new, it would grab our PR changes. But I don't have it set up to run manually. It'll just rerun. Whatever. I'm sure it'll work. Let's we can just do a PR on this one. I know it says failed, but I'm just gonna approve it and squash and merge. I think all these are fine. Oh, doing like a self-hosted Jenkins for running builds from terminal if needed. That'd be a good environment to set up. Yeah, I should. All right, TUI term. Now for this, we might run into problems because we do have one of the dependencies I've forked and I've had to update a couple times. But if we look at the error, I bet you it's still that for loop where Clippy gets stuck. Yeah, it's that loop that Abs already removed. So I bet you we'll just squash and merge. Be fine. I'll go ahead and pull these changes to do a local build just to make sure. But I bet you it doesn't even say compatibility here. So let's squash and merge. You shouldn't do it this way, guys. I know. But, alas, I like to live on the wild side. But I bet you, see, here, let's do a cargo Clippy. Just to show you no errors. Look at Dan's question. All right, let's pull up Dan's question. Dan, roughly 4 million of those requests are mine. What else we have? Dan. Fluffy asks, when will you do viewer project stream? Oh, probably when we get like 5 or 6 viewer projects in the forums. Let's see. Anything else? We're getting pretty close. A couple things I have been doing, and Fluffy made an alternative to this using, was it Next.js, Fluffy, that yours was built off of? I want to say it like needed an npm server to run. And mine, I'm just using like straight Nuxt. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're using Nuxt on yours. I still like not running any kind of dependency and just being able to run directly from HTML. So I've really enjoyed that. But yeah, what do we have so far on the viewer projects? We have one, your AI terminal companion. I'm so sick of AI projects. The Nuxt, which is kind of cool. Can't wait to try that out on stream. Fame 007. What do we have? A desktop app for secure password. Nice. APK. Oh, for the Android app. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I think once we get a couple more projects, we'll do a viewer stream with that. Have you tried scrolling window manager like Nuri? No, my buddy at work runs Nuri, and I've seen him use it. He really likes he's a Mac user. He's one of those dirty Mac users. But he likes to like the zoom out capability where it shows all the apps on the screen, and he really likes that functionality in Nuri. And he was using a couple other things on Nuri, and I was like, that's cool. It's just not for me. I'm very much I just need each app to have their own workspace, really. I'm kind of a simple man. I just want that. I don't really need anything other than just an app in its dedicated workspace and call it good. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Nuri wasn't for. That's why I never really reviewed it, because I just like, I loaded it up and I'm just like, that's weird. Like, I get anxiety as soon as I get like 5 Chrome tabs. I like clean, not very much running in the background, and really more than 5 apps running on my PC at any given time, or 5 Chrome apps or Chrome tabs, I should say, is just too much. And I've seen some crazy user setups. I had a user, I looked at their computer and they had 100 Chrome tabs. I was like, oh. I was like, I just can't with you. I can't help you. That's what I said. I think I just straight up was like, no, and walked away. I just couldn't. I was like, I cannot believe this girl has 100 Chrome tabs open. That's nuts. Yeah. So usually I pin like 2 or 3 to my pins, and then I'll have like 3 that I kind of work off. I usually have my main home board here, where I've been trying to transition over to Homar, where I have all my containers and just local networking stuff, maybe weather and a little to-do list. And I'm still trying to. This isn't in its final stages. I'll probably do a video on Homar sometime, but I really kind of wanted to get to a spot where I was really happy with the layout. Homar's layout doesn't feel great, and I really hate the grid system, so I'm not sure if this is where I'll stay, but I kind of want like a home page with a to-do and a broad overview, and then a search where you can just kind of pull it up and then search with Google or CRXNG for my use case. But that's kind of my thought. Try Glance. Yeah, I actually had Glance for a little bit. I loaded up Glance for, I think I did Linux. I'll just say Linux, it'll get it. No, Glances, I've never even heard of that. Self-hosted dashboard. Here we go. Yeah, so this is, I set this up before, and it's okay. I didn't mind it. I don't know why I didn't stick with it, though. There's just something that I just like, I'm gonna give it another try again, because I really did like Glance. I think I started, right? No, I didn't. Here, I'm gonna start it. I do like it, though. Using Chris's Nord background on Mac. Blasphemy. Actually, I use it on my Mac too, so. You know. Have you tried Homepage? Yeah. Yeah, I think the YAML files in Glance I didn't like. There was a couple other things too. Dynacat, what's that? Dashboard focus on dynamic reloading and easy integration with external applications. Ooh, very, very kind of like in the same vein as Glance. Hell, that might be the same screenshot. Last week. Interesting. How's it different from glance? It's a glance fork is focused on dynamic up. Oh, okay, so it's dynamic where glance is more static. Ooh, I think we could do something like that. I'd probably get rid of like the weather widget, maybe. Add in something in that realm. Let me do that. What else we got, chat, for a home page? Anything that you guys think? Dashy? I think I looked at Dashy and I didn't like it, though. Yeah. Nah. I mean, this would be fine if you're like sysadmin with a ton of different stuff going in the background. But my firewall is pretty basic. So I probably wouldn't do Dashy. For some people, I think this would work. But for my use case, it just doesn't really suit my needs. And I don't want to modify it to suit my needs, I should say. It's too far off of a starting spot compared to like a glance type situation. Glance is more my vein, where I might monitor a few things on my dashboard, but I only want like maybe really my Docker containers. And that's about it. And I can add that to anything. Yeah, no, that was for real, by the way. The 100 Chrome tabs, not an exaggeration. They literally had so many Chrome tabs, it was just like a little tiny glimpse of an icon, and then it went across the entire front page, and then it had an arrow going over. Now, you can do other stuff. My buddy at work, he does a lot of stuff with tabs, and he likes having tons of tabs open. I'm always giving him a hard time. So he lives like the vertical tab situation, which love him to death, but he might be a little brain damaged. I never got behind the vertical tabs. He knows I love him. It's all good. It's all good and fun. He always makes fun of me in my little DWM archaic setup, and he's more fancy. Vertical greater than horizon. You're lucky, Osk. I can't click on your name to ban you. Hey, I know vertical's the new hotness, okay? It's what all the young whippersnappers of the day are using. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. There is a compact one. I don't know. I like just the old school. Good enough for me. All right, so that's about it from a homepage perspective. I think out of all these, I probably will do some kind of Dynamat or Dynacat. I'm going to try this one with some pre-configured pages, see if I can get it to work really well. I'll probably drop Hacker News Lobsters, pull in my current RSS feed direct from Fresh RSS. From Fresh RSS, I should be able to hit all this stuff, so that should be fine. So I'll probably feed all this out. Subreddits, I really don't check Reddit very much at all these days. Reddit and Twitter kind of turned into a cesspool, so I'm kind of like, occasionally I might do a search, but I just don't check them on the daily anymore, nor do I want to. I think that's fair. Yeah, I know. It's just like... But there's times I do check them when I want to waste some time. When I just like, man, I feel like some brain rot, and I just kind of want to drool on myself for a little bit. I'm going to check Twitter. Or Reddit. Really, one and the same. Depending on the type of entertainment you want. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's get through. I'm so close to the end of the PRs here. All right. Toml. Now, that's a big bump. That's a 2 major revision bump. Let's see. Yeah, it's going from a 0.911 to a 1.12. Man, you know what? Let's just YOLO this thing. I'm curious. I want to see a build error. Let's go. Squash and merge. Let's blind merge this bad boy. All right, now I'm not going to delete the branch because we might need to revert this. I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy. All right, let's do cargo clippy. All right, show me an error. What a boring stream. No errors? Meh. Lame. Well, I figured that one would do it. And this is just a subversion of tree sitter highlight. Hell, that's probably not going to error either. Alright. Well, I thought the two major reversions on Toml dependency would give us some kind of broken project. Oh well. Alas, all the dependencies are up. Let's kill any extra branches, right? Alright, so we've got through all our PRs. What branches we got open? Just the main. Alright, cool. No PRs. LinUtil's running clean. All dependencies are good to go. Let's do a poll. Cargo clippy. Make sure. Cargo build. And we'll end it with a cargo run. Yeah. Alright. Nice. Clean. Wow, that never happens. Yeah. Main is blowed depleted. I love Gabby. He's always like, nah, you know what? Let's just delete it and see what happens. That's great, though, honestly. It's better to have someone like that than someone that just adds like 1,000 lines of code. Hey, that's okay. Man, that was so messed up last stream. You deleting that branch right as I was doing my commit. I was like, you SOB. Alright. Oh, WinUtil. Hell, why we're here. Man, we've been getting through some PRs today. This is unlike me. I usually am just like barely touching any PRs. Let's go ahead and finish this review of the applications on WinUtil. I think we were like right here or so. Getting rid of cap frame, blah blah blah, dark table, dark studio, context, spanso, batch AV convert, Falcon, fast fetch. Oh, fast fetch, Freedium, nope. FFmpeg full. I would probably leave FFmpeg full. Oh, actually, no, not on Windows. A lot of people use the codecs tools to install all the codecs. Firefox ESR will piss off a ton of people if you get rid of that. Flame shot, light shot, not really needed. Flow, flux. Flux is... Some people swear by it. I hate it, but... I'd probably leave Flux. A lot of people like that on a setup. Fox PDF, FZF. Most people have that as a dependency on an install anyways. GitHub CLI. Absolutely need GitHub CLI. Like, I use GH all the damn time. So, absolutely have to have that. The rest you can get rid of. Let's see. Anything else? Green shot. Man, I remember old green shot. Dude, I used to use that 15 years ago. Nostalgia. I don't think it's FOSS, though. I think it's a freeware, not actually FOSS. I don't think it even shows the code. Maybe. Let's check. Oh, no. It is FOSS. C#. 2 weeks ago. Hell, it's still going. Old green shot. I used it for a long time. It's a good screenshot tool. G sudo. I actually like this better than the sudo baked into modern Windows. But probably not needed these days. Handbrake. Most people love Handbrake. I would probably leave Handbrake in. Heroic launcher. Nah, everyone's probably going to use Epic on Windows. Hex editor. Pretty niche. Inkscape, niche. Java 11, 17. Yeah, everyone probably just uses 21. JDownloader. People still love JDownloader, man. You know? Joplin. I've seen a bunch of people do videos and stuff, but never really stick with it. Kate and Lime. Nobody's using that on Windows. Well, maybe a few people are, but not very many. Link shell extension. Can I go back to Final Fantasy when I say link shell? Linphone, junk. LM Studio. That's the AI stuff that we added. Local send, lock hunter, logseek, Morgan, NPC QT. What's the last commit on NPC QT? I like NPC a lot better. Oh man, that's still brand new. It's still one of my favorite video editors. I don't know what it is about VLC, but I hate VLC. I think VLC is just meh at best. And on Linux, it just downright sucks. So I just don't think I'll ever use VLC again. Every once in a while, I'll pull it up. If it's already installed. Moonlight, I'd probably leave. Now, MPC-HC, I think this one did get deprecated. I think they did finally abandon. What was the last commit? 2 days ago. Never mind. It's still going. Yeah, this was a fork of the other one. I remember somebody saying, MPC-HC is no longer valid. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, MPC-HC and Qt are both up-to-date forks. So if you want a VLC alternative, that's what I would use. Remote NG, I've tried. I never really dug it. I kind of liked RDC Man a lot better from Microsoft. Equalizer APU, blah, blah, blah. Junk. Music B, that's what I'm actually using to play music in the background. Speaking of which, I think I need to turn that music down. I was listening to my stream the other day and I was like, damn, that's loud music. Let me just do that real fast. Yeah. I'll turn that down a little bit. All right. Oh, music's fine? Oh, okay. Well, shoot. I'll turn it back up then. Yeah, I just need something for the silence. Sometimes when you have dead air, it's just all you can hear is the whistling wind of my AC unit. Notion. Oh, God. How many people use Notion? Anybody in chat use Notion? Meh. I used it for a hot second, and I was like, this sucks. Yeah, Obsidian's better. I always liked Obsidian. If you needed something better. I never understood the Notion hype. I felt like all the creators that use Notion just got paid off. I feel like they were just like, here, use this. It will pay you thousands of dollars in sponsorship money. Because every time I load up Notion, I'm just like, people pay monthly for this crap. Huh. I don't get it. And then I'd go over to like Obsidian or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is better and it's free. So why do people use Notion again? Anyways. Just not a fan. Nextcloud Desktop, InGlide, Node.js, Nomax, New Shell. I mean, I think it's fine. OpenShell, I remember during the Windows, actually OpenShell was called, oh, what was it called back in the day? It turned into OpenShell from, I don't remember what it was, like Win7 Shell or some crap, I can't remember. Classic Shell, thank you, Dan. That's what it was. But anyways, during Windows 8, everyone installed Classic Shell, and now it turned into OpenShell. Nobody really uses it, though. Not in 2026 at least, but man, I tell you what, go back 10 years when Windows 8 released, everyone installed Classic Shell, and I do mean everyone. QV Parsec, PDF Creator. It's kind of like a trip down nostalgia lane on some of these. I'm just like, oh man, oh, Power BI. It's like anti-nostalgia. Having to deal with Power BI in business sucked. I was like, God, why are we using this shit? Just give me anything else. Oh, crap. No, never mind. I don't want to deal with Teams either. God, what is wrong with you people? Fine. Yes, I'll set it up. But I'm not going to like it. Sorry, PTSD there. Oh, you got to add Putty back in. Putty is goated, okay? Putty, absolutely. That's like removing WinSCP. You gotta have Putty and WinSCP. Yeah, you can get rid of this torrent crap. Rain meter. Oh, rain meter, man. I remember pimping out my desktop with some rain meter. Revolt, never used. RipGrep, I use as a dependency, but usually it gets installed. Sage Thumbs is a nice thumbware thing. Yeah, but I really wouldn't use it. SDO, you got to add that back in. SDIO for Snappy Driver Installer Origin. It's the goat of all driver installs. Nilesoft Shell. I actually did a video on this back in the day. It's a good right-click context expansion menu program, but honestly, you probably just install that through. It's a niche install. It's not something you install on every system. Signal, some people will like that. I'm not a big Signal user. Don't really care. Slack, probably want to add that. People are going to need that for business. So for a simple setup, they're going to want it. No. Sumatra PDF. Everyone uses Adobe typically. Sumatra's fine though. Sunshine. Again, pretty niche. Super F4. By pressing a hotkey to terminate programs. Honestly, the tweak we do with in task by right clicking it on the taskbar is just as good. Swift. Bleh. Tailscale, man. These are good programs, but I'm thinking of what you'd install on every system. Yeah, that's fine. Vesttop, that's what I use for my Discord. I don't like the official Discord, so I would leave Vesttop. Most of these other programs I am scrolling by, I do use, but a lot of times I'll manually install those through CLI anyways, or they'll be part of an installation. So it's not like a, hey, have to use it. WinMerge actually got sold, and I want to say that's like, I want to say that it's a whole different company now that owns WinMerge, so RIP. Yeah, add WinSCP back in. Gotta have that. It needs to be there with like advanced IP scanner and stuff. TerraCopy. I remember using TerraCopy. I don't really do it much these days. I'll do a RoboCopy if I'm doing a big copy. And I'll do that from CLI. Anyways. Oh. Thou who shall not be named. Don't say this on YouTube. You get a ban. You get a copyright strike quicker than you can Do something really fast. Yeah, not great. Oh, Zoxide. Yeah, I use Zoxide every day, but I just install that with my setup script anyways. UV. That's the Python. UV is the top grade equivalent, but for Python. So I remember someone in the top grade video mentioning UV. I gotta install UV and try it out. SM Player is not bad. It's an alternative from the MPC style VLC alternatives. I like SM Player though. I don't know if there's anything else. Yeah. That's my review of your 2,000 line kill of applications in the WinUtil. I would probably add on some of those. Make a list. I should have made a list. I'm gonna. You know what I'll do is I'm just gonna cut out this stream, and then I'm just gonna say, ChatGPT, based on this stream, what applications should be killed from WinUtil? I'll get it after the stream. I'll feed the transcript into Claude, my buddy Claude. We'll get her done. It will mess up something. You know, Claude's getting pretty good, man. I'm telling you, me and Claude have done some amazing things together. It's my best friend. Claude and me have gone many places. Anyways, clean up WinGit. How are we doing on this? I thought I looked at this last week, didn't I? Oh, yeah, locks up UI. Now it uses run spaces. Looks good, thanks. The reason for this is it has a bunch of apps installed through WinGit, and it will take time to update them all. Unlinking it from the UI allows users to close WinUtil and let the update run in the background. Moving into the main process, you would want... Hey, man, I hadn't seen developer Derp in forever, man. He's one of the OGs that actually helped implement run spaces. And closing the GUI that make the updates will stop. Yeah, I mean, the problem with this giant update when you do an update all, I'm kind of with Derp on this one, because sometimes when you do an update all, a lot of users go 6 months to a year without updating their software on their machine. So when they do an update all, it could take upwards of several hours. So a lot of people will close out and they would cancel the upgrade midway through. So yeah, I think leaving it as its own system kind of makes more sense on that PR. Just from general use case. Yeah. Yeah, believe it or not, like, one thing I'm really good at is I understand users. I've done IT support for, shoot, well, to some extent. Sometimes it's a high level, sometimes it's a low level. But, man, yeah, probably 25 years. So I really understand the stupid things users do. Average users. I really can say, okay, based on how this guy dresses, I know he's probably going to leave everything in his desktop. He's a slob. And it's just going to be an absolute good gile of BS. So whenever he gets fired for being the way he is, I think I'm going to go ahead and back up his old desktop to the network drive, because God knows what's going to happen to this computer. That's the difference between understanding a user and not. Most IT people would go, okay, new guy that's a slob, you got to make sure you back it up to the network drive and send and use this when you do your saves when you're working on this project, and then that person will just never do it. You can kind of just detect, hey, some people are like this, some people aren't, and then you're like, okay, well, this person's going to screw this up. I'll just go ahead and prepare for the worst case. And that's typically how I treat users. I'm always usually like, I'm pretty easygoing. So I'm just like, yeah, this person's going to screw this up. I'm going to tell them not to do this, but they're probably going to do it anyways. And understanding users, I think, is really important. Especially as you, whether you're a programmer, whether you're doing IT support, whatever it is, understanding a user is really important. And there's just different types of users that will always use their computer a certain way. And once you're able to identify and understand that, you're going to just get along a lot better when you come to make software. Whenever you go to support that user, you just won't be as disappointed as you are when you first start out. Because anytime you first start out, you're like, oh, wait, why did they do that? That's so stupid. And that's just people. People are stupid. Once you learn that, it takes you a little bit longer. I remember in my 20s, I used to be like, wow, okay, everyone out there is probably pretty smart. And then, I don't know, maybe I was just naive at the time. But it took me a while to figure out most people are pretty stupid. And then, in my 40s now, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's just how people are. You just accept it. Yeah, no. It's just a fact of life. Alright, what do we got now? Start process, PowerShell, WinGet upgrade. Alright, nice. I like that. It's a nice cleanup. We're just going to spawn a new PowerShell process under start process and do WinGet upgrade. That's pretty much how it was done, but we had a whole bunch of try catches, I think, or some shit. Let's look. I think it was in the actual process here. Let's just load the diff here. Oh, that's a whole lot of nothing. Let's load this diff. This is where it spawned it. Yeah, it spawned it as a PowerShell. Meh. This is much cleaner. I like it. Alright, good stuff. Let's refresh. Alright, so we're starting the PowerShell. Cocoa upgrade all. For install Cocoa. Otherwise, we're using WinGet. Yeah. That looks good. Yeah, I think probably the most aggravating thing I've had to deal with in my career is not necessarily dumb users. Is once you understand how users interact with the PC and you understand the different types, it's very acceptable. Probably the worst thing I had to deal with that just drove me up a wall was people that thought they were smarter than they really were. And what ended up happening was, it's not necessarily they were dumb, it's just they weren't as competent as they should be. And they would make excuses for not doing things because it was hard for them to actually do the thing. So anytime I'd be like, hey, we need to do this migration because we've got this coming up and this coming up, they'd be like, oh, well, we can't do that. That's going to impact this system thing. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Well, let's take care of that as well. And they'd be like, absolutely not. That's going to also impact over here. I'm like, guy, I understand this is going to be a little bit harder, but we need to go. Let's execute. Let's move forward. And there's a type of IT person that drives me crazy, is the guy that all he does is make excuses, and he just cannot bring himself to push the ball forward because it's like he just doesn't want to work, or he's afraid something will break and therefore he will have to do work. And believe it or not, there is a lot of that type of individual in IT, programming, whatever it is, where they just are just scared to death to touch anything. And I'm just like, bro, I get it. If it breaks, the system goes down, we have backups, we have this, there's fallbacks, but we need to do something and actually upgrade this thing. We can't just stay on this old-ass branch with, like, an exploit. Oh, God, that was probably the worst part of my career, was dealing with that personality, especially when I wasn't directly over them, where I could just override them and just go. Having to deal with, like, vendors do that crap to me. Oh, that was truly the worst ever. Yeah. I mean, certain things, man, but I'm all for upgrading and pushing the ball forward a lot of times. I like to just go. But to play devil's advocate here, for those that don't want to do that, is you're close to retirement and you just want to coast by and you just want to go into work, eat the given snacks that are there, and then go home. I understand. Just don't lie to me about it. Don't push updates to prod on Fridays. I always did most of my updates on Saturday. Usually just do a remote login, upgrade on a Saturday after all the backups are in. Because typically all the businesses I managed were all Monday to through Friday, not 24/7 on jobs. So Saturday was always the best time to do any kind of substantial upgrades. Yeah. Oh, did I not merge that? I thought I merged it, right? Did I? Maybe? Oh no. There's more. There's more now. Oh, so close. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, never on a Friday the 13th. Agreed. Great. That's just, that goes without saying. What do we got here? Too broad. Yeah. Never pushed to production. Yes. There could be a disagreement on so. List of reviving back. WinSCP, Vestop, Putty. Yeah.
Well.
ESR, there's people that would kill us if we took that out. NM, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated, good sir. Is there anything else? Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good list. A lot of those, I think, cutting it down will help a lot when it comes to the comes to the PR. Fuzzy, thank you, good sir. Read to the end. What did I miss? My personal veto is on Inti Auth and just moving self-hosted apps into its category. Oh. Self-hosted apps could be its own category. Because the utilities section is just too bloated. I agree. If most of those self-hosted apps are in utilities, you have my sign-off. I think that would look a lot better. Wait, say what? I worked for a lead programmer that didn't believe in staging. He pushed his changes directly to prod. What the fuck? And he's pretty famous. What? Okay, there's times where I do this, but I know I'm screwing up when I'm doing it. And if I was getting paid to program, there is never a time where it's acceptable to push directly to main. Like, never. Everything should go through a pull request in a business environment. Like, wow. God, that reminds me of that. I got a comment on a video once, and programmers are weird, and so are all IT people, myself included. So don't take this as anything bad, but I remember this comment where it was like, I know you're just starting out, but, I've been doing programming for 30 years. And instead of deleting that line of code, we do a comment. We just comment that code out. But that comes from 30 years of experience. And I remember I read it and I was just like, I think this guy's trolling me. And then it kind of dawned on me, no, he's not. He's being serious. This mofo don't use Git. He's done it there 30 years and he's not using Git. And I'm like, okay. That's crazy. Oh. Anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. I guess they didn't have Git 30 years ago. That's true. Are you not going to merge? I think I'm going to merge this one, right? We accepted this. Let's squash and merge. I accepted this PR, and it has been merged. Get with the times. I mean, Git's amazing. I love it even more. After GitHub completely screwed up and has like crashed multiple times, right? It doesn't even matter. Like when I was adding some of my stuff into my local Git instance using Gitea, I know some people are like, why aren't you using Forgejo or whatever it is? And I was just like, dude, this is just so cool. Like this will sync up automatically and be a staging point. If GitHub crashes, it's okay. All my code's here. And I can add more repos. I can go ahead and do remotes directly from here. So like if I go to here, I can go git remote v and I can show all the different types of things, and I should have Gitea in here, right? Oh, I didn't even add it. Oh, damn, it's not here. I can't believe I didn't do that. Anywho, I can add another remote, and then I can sit there and switch the origin from GitHub directly to Gitea, and it's just so cool. Like, once you create, like, a Git repository, you can always get your code back to any spot in time that you've ever done a commit. And I find that just so amazing. There's something that just warms my heart. Just like getting cuddled with a giant warm blanket on a cold day. And that is just so nice, knowing I can never really screw anything up where I can't just go ahead and do a git pull, or I can just change the entire hosting from GitHub to a local instance and just a couple commands. And then I'm just up and going again. I think that's amazing. And like, even like I just learned a lot of the switching, like the host, because of GitHub screwing up. And I was just like, this is really not that bad. This is a really easy migration path. How cool. How cool. There's still some bugs to work out with the commit. It doesn't sync in real time. It'll sync here in a couple hours. I think I've set it every 8 hours. But I can always directly pull it too. It's kind of cool. Do you believe me if there's a company that dares to sell terabytes of cloud storage with a one-time purchase? Oh, that would be wild. That's a company that won't exist very much longer. Yeah. That's so funny. That's kind of cool, though. You know, I'm all for it. I think it's neat to understand. I think I'd like to tell all these stories just because, and I love hearing from you guys about other programmers and the crazy things you see, because it goes to show you don't have to be a 20 or 30 year vet, and some of the people you probably look up to in the space are probably not even that good at programming. No, what is the saying? Never meet your heroes. But I think it's cool. Like, I've seen some really neat code come from teenagers that just make a PR out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, I would have never done it that way. But that's really interesting. So I think it's neat where even a new user can really do some really cool stuff, man. And the programming is like one of those things where experience doesn't necessarily mean a good thing. And sometimes it can even hold you back because programming moves so darn fast. Like, I think of just how fast all the packages upgrade with something like Rust. It's like, holy crap, every week it's like 5 more dependencies got pushed up, and then, oh, well, now we're no longer using that function. Now it's got renamed to this function, and you're like, got to update everything. So, like, sometimes experience, I think, might hold you back. In certain cases. Not every case, though. Sometimes experience is needed. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna shut it down for the day. I feel like we did a lot. I'll get to the rest of those WinUtil PRs. I think we've had a good day. It was fun. We got through a lot of PRs. I'll probably do a video on Gitea later, and yeah, it was a good one. I felt like we got a lot done. I don't know what we did, but we got a lot done. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Fluffy, for making the list too. Yeah. I appreciate everybody, man. It's fun. So cool. All right, y'all. Have a good one. See you on Thursday. We'll see what we get up to on Thursday. I'll try and look through my list here and see what we need. We still need to revisit the Orange Pi 800. I gotta finish that out. But I almost want to do a Mac OS stream just because I haven't touched on Mac OS in like a year and a half or a year. That's a possibility. But I also need to finish out these two. And we haven't done a DWM stream in a while, although I think I'm the only one that ever uses my setup, so eh. This one's kind of done. I don't know if I'll do a video on the WinApps. I didn't really like how it turned out at the end of the day. I'm like, yeah, I'm still going to just use Looking Glass for all my stuff. I think that one was a video I was going to make, but inevitably, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So let's delete that one. Helium browser, I want to give it a couple more months to bake. So that's going to be a couple months from now. And I still need to do the Intel Arc B70. I think what we got to do is SRIOV. I want to see SRIOV working. And then ditching the 2-card setup I have. And then just having one GPU that does PCI pass-through. Well, kind of emulated PCI pass-through with SRIOV. And that could be fun. I don't know when you're using SROV how well Looking Glass will work and some of the other things. I'll have to do some more research on that because I think that could be a lot of a fun project as well. And then I need to probably just from a nostalgia person talk about WinUtil. Oh crap! And I also forgot to tell you. think I did on YouTube. Nope, wrong channel. YouTube. Yeah, give me posts. I want to say I got it. So there is officially, it got approved, the Linux desktop guide on Amazon. But if you don't want to pay for it, that's okay. I got you. I redid the linuxbook.com as well. And this is pretty much what's inside that thing. I made it to where you can put it on an e-reader and click links, and it'll actually redirect to videos and other things that are linked in here as well. But you could also just click through the website too. I didn't want to like gatekeep the book. I've got this pretty darn good now. I feel like it's a great starting spot finally. I've been working on this stupid thing for 6 years or something, on and off, slowly, like just chipping away at the Linux book. And I feel like I finally got it to a spot where it's like, okay, this is a good first edition. And I think it's enough to where a new user can take it and kind of give them a good starting spot for Linux coming from like Windows. But yeah, that's it. I should the I-18N PRs. So that was cool. I'll probably do a paperback in the future. I want to make sure the ebook goes, and then for the paperback, I want to redo the page, the cover page, but I want my daughter to do the artwork. So I want my daughter to, I'm going to give her like a couple design, and I'm like, just go make whatever it is. And then whatever she makes for the cover will be the final cover for the book. So when I get the paperback, it would be all her artwork. I think that'd be so cool. And yeah, I think it'd be better than anything I could pay someone to do too, which I'll probably end up paying her for it at some point. But I thought that would be kind of cool. And that, and I, you know, a lot of the cover and thumbnails and all that stuff is, most of it's just AR slop these days. And I thought, man, that'd be cool, because she's a really good artist. And I was like, man, that'd be neat to do. Anywho, all right, y'all, have a good one. Love y'all. Deuces. See you on